You ever have one of those mornings that feels too peaceful, like the world's about to throw a brick through your calm? That was me, sitting in my garage on a Saturday morning, organizing my tools and sipping coffee from a chipped mug, when that knock came. Sharp, judgmental, like it had HOA written all over it. I opened the side door and of course there she was, Karen. HOA board member, full-time gossip, part-time private investigator of everyone else's lives. Her pastel cardigan looked like it had never known sunlight, and her clipboard could probably start a war. "Good morning," she said, stretching the words like taffy. "We've received concerns about your garage being used as illegal storage." I blinked, half convinced I was still dreaming. "Illegal storage? You mean my lawnmower and Christmas lights?" She pursed her lips like she'd tasted lemon juice. "I've seen multiple boxes and furniture. The HOA guidelines clearly state that—" "Karen," I interrupted, setting down my coffee. "It's a garage. It stores things. That's literally its job." She huffed, scribbled something on her clipboard, and took a photo of the open door. "Expect a notice," she said, spinning on her heel and marching off like she'd just solved a federal crime. I laughed, because what else do you do when someone reports your garage for being a garage? But that laughter didn't last long. By Monday, an official HOA warning was taped to my door. Violation, unauthorized storage activity. They gave me 7 days to clear the space. 7 days for my own garage. I tried calling the HOA office, but of course, every call went to voicemail. Every message went unanswered. Karen was clearly on a power trip, and I was the new target. So, I did what any sane, slightly sarcastic homeowner would do. I cleaned the place spotless, lined up every box like soldiers, and waited. A week later, Karen showed up again, clipboard in hand, camera ready, but this time, she wasn't alone. A white SUV with county zoning department printed on the side pulled up behind her. She smiled like a cat that had cornered a mouse. "This'll be quick," she said. "They'll see what I saw." But as the county inspector walked around, measuring, photographing, asking questions, something in his expression shifted. He glanced toward the community clubhouse down the street, where Karen spent most of her days, and frowned. "Interesting," he murmured, jotting something down. Karen looked nervous for the first time. "What's interesting?" she asked. The inspector didn't answer. He just gave me a polite nod and said, "We'll be in touch." Karen tried to keep her smirk, but it was fading fast. I didn't know it yet, but that quiet moment, her fake smile trembling, was the first crack in her perfect HOA empire. 3 days passed without a word. No emails, no letters. Not even one of Karen's usual friendly reminders slipped under my door. That alone was suspicious. Karen not bothering someone was like a dog refusing a bone. By Thursday evening, I was out washing my truck when I noticed 2 HOA board members, Tom and Evelyn, talking near the clubhouse. Their voices were hushed, urgent. Then I heard Karen's name. "She's in trouble with the county," Evelyn whispered. Tom shook his head. "You're kidding. What did she do now?" I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but come on. After she'd sicked zoning enforcement on my garage, I figured I'd earned the right to listen. I leaned casually on the hood of my truck, pretending to clean the windshield. Evelyn lowered her voice even more. Apparently, the county found a listing, an Airbnb listing, registered under her husband's name, but the property address belongs to the HOA. Tom's eyes widened. "The clubhouse?" Evelyn nodded. "Yup, the community clubhouse. She's been renting it out on weekends. Calls it a peaceful suburban retreat with private access. Charges $200 a night." I nearly dropped the sponge. Karen, the same woman who'd accused me of illegal storage, was secretly turning HOA property into her personal cash cow. I could practically hear karma cracking its knuckles. That night, I did a little online sleuthing of my own, and there it was. Airbnb listing, 5 stars, glowing reviews, pictures of the clubhouse patio, the community pool, even the HOA lounge, with a bowl of fake fruit and a caption that read, "Perfect for family getaways." The reviews were full of praise. "Great stay. Host Karen was very attentive. Loved the pool and quiet neighborhood. She even let us use the clubhouse kitchen." My jaw hit the floor. The clubhouse kitchen, where we held HOA meetings, was apparently now part of Karen's business suite. I scrolled further and saw her profile, Karen H., superhost since 2022. Superhost. The irony was delicious. The next morning, I called the county office, pretending to check on the garage inspection. The woman on the phone chuckled. "Oh, that case. You're fine. But tell your HOA president we'll be following up about her property use." Her tone carried that polite government flavor of, "We're about to ruin someone's week." That evening, Karen showed up again. Same pastel sweater, same smug smile, though her eyes darted around more than usual. "Well," she said, voice tight, "the county confirmed your garage is compliant. You're fine." "Wow," I said. "Guess it's not illegal storage after all." She forced a laugh. "Just doing my duty." But before she turned away, I couldn't resist. "Hey Karen," I said lightly, "how's the Airbnb business?" Her smile vanished. For the first time since I'd met her, she had no words. She just glared, spun around, and walked off faster than I'd ever seen her move. I watched her go, my curiosity now burning like wildfire, because something told me this was only the beginning. By the next week, whispers had spread like wildfire through the neighborhood. You didn't even have to mention Karen by name. Just say Airbnb and people's eyebrows would shoot up. Still, the HOA tried to keep things quiet. A special meeting was scheduled for Friday night. Board members only, the notice said. But when I saw cars lining up outside the clubhouse, I knew half the community had shown up anyway, myself included. Inside, the air was thick with tension. Folding chairs scraped the floor, voices murmured, and Karen sat at the front table, flanked by two nervous-looking board members. Her usual confidence had curdled into something brittle. She cleared her throat. "Before we begin, I want to address some misinformation being spread about me online." Tom, the same board member from before, raised his hand. "You mean the Airbnb listing under your husband's name that shows our clubhouse?" Karen's jaw tightened. "That was a misunderstanding. A family friend borrowed the clubhouse keys without my knowledge." Someone snorted in the back. Evelyn leaned forward. "So, you're saying the account called Karen H. Superhost, isn't you?" Karen's face went pale. "That's irrelevant." The room erupted. Neighbors started talking over each other. Some angry, some laughing, some recording on their phones. I just sat in the back, arms crossed, watching karma unfold like a perfectly scripted movie. "Order!" Karen shouted, banging the gavel. "Everyone, calm down!" But it was too late. The county inspector from before stepped through the door, followed by a woman holding a clipboard. The chatter died instantly. "Mrs. Henderson," the inspector said, scanning the room. "We're here regarding the unauthorized rental of this property for short-term lodging." Karen froze. "You can't just barge in here. This is a private meeting." The inspector didn't even flinch. "Actually, it's a public facility managed by HOA funds, and we have reason to believe you've profited from its use." The entire room seemed to exhale at once. Karen's husband, sitting a few rows away, sank into his chair. "Karen," he muttered, "you said it was just for a weekend." "Quiet, Dan!" she hissed, glaring daggers at him. But the inspector continued, flipping through papers. "We have transaction records and photographs, plus the Airbnb listing screenshots. We'll be issuing a citation and beginning an audit of HOA funds." Tom leaned forward, voice firm. "Until further notice, you're suspended from the board, Karen." The silence that followed was almost cinematic. Karen's face went from red to white, her eyes darting toward me in the back row. For a moment we locked eyes. Her glare said it all. "You did this." I didn't need to say a word. I just gave her the faintest, most polite smile I could muster, the kind that says, "Maybe next time, don't mess with someone's garage." As the meeting broke up in chaos, Karen gathered her papers, muttering to herself. Her perfect suburban mask finally cracked. But deep down, I knew she wasn't done yet. People like Karen don't just go quietly, they go dramatically. And sure enough, 2 nights later she came knocking again. It was just after 9 p.m. when the pounding started. Not a knock, a pound. The kind of knock that makes your chest tighten before you even open the door. I knew who it was before I checked. Karen. Her hair was frizzed, her face blotchy, her clipboard gone. She looked nothing like the polished enforcer who'd once strutted around with HOA power in her hand. "You think this is funny?" she snapped before I could even say hello. "You humiliated me in front of everyone." I crossed my arms, staying calm. "Karen, you humiliated yourself. The county found your listings. That's not on me." She jabbed a finger toward my chest. "You knew. You must have told them." I sighed. "Karen, the county inspector saw it on his own." You brought him here when you reported my garage, remember? Her mouth opened, then closed. For once, she didn't have a comeback. She looked over her shoulder nervously, as if the shadows might be listening. They're auditing me, she whispered. The HOA funds, they think I... She stopped, biting her lip. It's all falling apart. I felt a strange mix of pity and poetic justice. You should probably focus on fixing that, I said quietly, instead of people's garages. For a second, she just stood there, breathing hard, eyes flicking between me and the street. Then, without another word, she turned and stormed off down the sidewalk. The next morning, the neighborhood was buzzing again. Karen's house had a big for sale sign out front. Word was, she'd resigned from the HOA, deleted her Airbnb account, and skipped the next 3 community meetings. But the county didn't forget. I later found out she'd been fined thousands for unauthorized commercial use of residential property. The Airbnb reviews were gone. The Superhost badge revoked. And the best part? The HOA board changed their rules. Any future complaints now had to be backed by photographic evidence and a board vote before escalation. Karen's downfall actually made the HOA better. One evening, a few weeks later, I sat in my perfectly legal garage again. Same chipped mug, same quiet hum of a peaceful neighborhood. For the first time in months, it actually felt like home again. Then I noticed something out of place. An envelope taped to my door. No HOA logo this time, just my name scrawled in shaky handwriting. Inside was a single note. You were right. I went too far, but they went further. Be careful who you trust here. K. I read it twice. Karen, the same woman who once called zoning on my toolbox, was warning me. I don't know if it was guilt, fear, or something else. But when I looked out at the quiet street, every porch light glowing in neat little HOA-approved rows, something told me this neighborhood's drama wasn't over. It never really is. If you enjoyed this crazy HOA story, don't forget to subscribe for more true drama stories like this one. Smash that like button if you think Karen got what she deserved. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done if this happened to you?